What's going on, everybody? Rob Dauster from the Field of 68 here, and there is some news that we need to discuss. Emoni Bates announced on Wednesday that he is committing to Eastern Michigan over the likes of Louisville and Kansas State and Memphis and anybody else that was trying to get in with the former top 5 prospect in the country. For people that don't know, Emoni Bates is a guy that was one time considered to be the best prospect in all of high school basketball when he was 14, 15, 16 years old. Kind of fell off a little bit, ended up enrolling at Memphis when he was just 17 years old, had to do 2 years in college, averaged 9.6 points in a pretty disappointing season as a freshman, given the hype that he had coming in, and ended up transferring out of the program. He has one more year before he can declare for the NBA draft, but he's heading to Eastern Michigan, which begs the question, what is going to end up happening to Emoni Bates in his career? There's a couple of things that I have to think about here, and there's a couple of things that we need to weigh. One, I think the most important thing for Emoni is to get away from the hype, get away from everything else involved around being Emoni Bates that does not involve being a basketball player. Make the main thing again. And that is something where I think going to a program like the G League Ignite, going somewhere where you could go the professional route, where you're focused, where you're insulated, where everything in your life is learning how to be the best possible professional basketball player that you can be. And I don't think that's what's going to happen at Eastern Michigan, right? If you think about the way that this is going to go, he's heading back home. He's heading to a program where he's going to be asked to take 8,000 shots a game. He's not going to be asked to do the things that he has to do to be able to be a role player at the NBA level, which is what I expect him to be. He's 6'8". He can score off the bounce. In theory, he should be able to shoot it. He's got the tools to potentially be a guy that can be somewhat switchable on the defensive end. I don't know if he'll ever end up getting there, and I don't know if he's going to ever end up being a great playmaker offensively, but he's got the potential to be there. I think he needs to go somewhere to learn how to do a job. I don't know if going back to Ypsilanti and going back to his hometown, going back to a school that's going to allow him to take 25 shots a game and try to put up 28 points a game is the best thing for him. We saw that. We've seen this out of Yipsy Prep. We've seen this out of him playing with Bates Fundamental on the EYBL circuit. When he was at his best, with the minutes that he played with Team Final, when he was going out there and doing a job on a loaded team, that is what I think was necessarily best for him. Now, it also can be said that he is going to a place that is completely off the college basketball map. Like it or not, Eastern Michigan is not someplace that's going to be on national television every night. It's not someplace where he's going to have to deal with a ton of hype from the media around him. Now, there's going to be a circus because it's Emoni Bates in Ypsilanti, Michigan, in his hometown, and there's going to be everybody that wants to get a piece of him and get a hand on him and get what they can out of him. That's concerning. But it's also a situation where he is not going to be in the spotlight. We saw that with Patrick Baldwin last year, right? He was a potential top 5 player in the class. He ended up going to Milwaukee, played with his dad. No one thought about him throughout the entire year. He ended up being a first-round pick, the number 28 pick in the 2022 NBA draft, going to the Warriors. That's a pretty good outcome for Patrick Baldwin. I also happen to think Patrick Baldwin is a better fit in the NBA than what Emoni Bates would be. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm not confident that this is the best way for him to move forward in his career. And if I was advising him, not that I am, not that he's ever going to listen to me, but I don't think that this is necessarily the right move for Emoni Bates.